Please welcome to the Explore Scientific stage, Mr. Tyler Bowman.
Hi, everybody.
I hit the wrong one. It's funny.
Paul.
That is not Tyler Bowman.
Paul, the disenfranchised voice, clicked the wrong button. There's lots of diss words I'm going to start using. Every day is going to be a new diss word for him. So I will be dissing Paul. Yes. Disengaged voice, dismembered voice. There's lots of options here.
Here, I'm going to do it again. There we go.
Paul raises the question.
Here we go.
Please welcome to the Explore Scientific stage, Mr. Ken Marks.
There.
Hey everybody, Kent Marks here for the second time today on our Amazon Live broadcast. You know,
this is Facebook.
Facebook Live. That was the disenfranchised voice of
Disenfranchised
Paul
voice.
Movement. You know, and that gets me
I'm
thinking.
no longer disemboweled.
That gets me thinking. If you're the opposite of disagreeable is agreeable, what's the opposite of dismembered?
Membered.
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 Membered? I don't know. So anyway, that's the journalist in me coming out with questioning words and having fun with words. Fun with words, that's a good episode we should have sometime.
Nah.
But today we're going to have an episode about First Light Chronicles. So we're going to be talking about telescopes and things like that. Going to go through it really quickly. If you saw yesterday, I had the Exos 100 set up. It didn't have enough counterweights on it for the weight of the ED80. But I've added 3 counterweights. They're all the way down. I've got this thing in beautiful balance, and I can show you how it balances real quick. Paul's going to get the camera set up, and then we'll do that. I've already got it hooked up to my iPad, ready to go, because it's real simple to do. This is the IEXOS 100 over in your carousel. Has micro stepper motors, belt drive system designed to be very easy to use and get you started down the road to astrophotography or visual use, which is what I do. I use visual photography. It's where you take a picture with your brain and remember it. So visceral photography is where you use your viscera to draw pictures, I guess. Anyway, it gets you, visceral photography grabs you and shakes you from the inside.
There you go.
There we go. So I've got, can we switch over to this? There we go.
This is so demanding.
Yep, that's me.
Well, how about that?
Mr. Manding. Yeah, that works, I guess. It's your call. You're the director. So first, we're going to check to see.
Wow, thanks, Kent. I didn't know that.
You did? I'm glad you knew that. So I've got it balanced, right? Real well. And you know, some people want it to just spin. As the elevation increases, there's an additional friction on the bottom of the bearing load, but it does not affect anything at all. The motors can handle it. So it's balanced in RA real well. I'd like it to be a little bit heavy on this end because you want it counterbalance heavy, just a little bit. Oh, too much.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. You can fine tune this real well. There it goes, just barely starting to move. So I'm going to move it back.
A little harsh.
Just a scooch. Now I'm going to tighten down the clutch. This is a clutch, not a lock. And I've moved the telescope back and forth. I don't have an eyepiece on it. So when I put an eyepiece on it, the eyepiece will make it a little bit eyepiece heavy. Well, look at that. It is eyepiece heavy, fairly decent amount. So I am simply going to rotate it back here. And I know there's too much weight this way. I'm just going to loosen the settle plate screws. Move it forward just a wee bit, tighten those back down, and here we go, one more time. Here, and loosen the counterweights. Little bit counterweight heavy still, so back to it. And you know, this is not super critical. Once it's close, it's good enough.
Yeah, nor is it an exact science, obviously.
Still counterweight heavy.
Yeah, that's really heavy. You're looking at a good pound.
So I'm going to move it a little bit more because I was having no effect on it. Now it's going to be, no, I'm going the wrong way. I'm an idiot. I'm not an idiot. Well, sometimes I am.
Well,
So I was going the wrong way. No more. It was getting
of the word
worser.
idiot.
It was getting worser and worser. So here we go. Now it's nose heavy, or optic end heavy. And I'd want it, let's go right there.
So, we know how it smells now. Ah, ha, ha, ha. My dad joke.
Still heavy. The optic end?
You said the nose end of it.
On the nose end, yes.
And I thought, how does it smell?
So I gotta go that way. Which way I gotta go? Yeah, back this way. I'm sitting here talking and listening to Paul's bad jokes. This is entertaining.
Television.
There we go.
Nah, better.
Close enough. So I'm gonna get the counterweight bar straight up and down as best I can. I'm gonna look through the telescope, make sure it's pointed at Polaris, and I can see Polaris in there.
Make sure you're on your degrees.
This is a brand new
You gotta have your
ED80, Essential Series ED80. I've got the altitude set for 36 and a half degrees-ish. I've got my Explore Stars app loaded up on my iPad, and I'm just gonna go menu, catalog, sun, slew to. I have auto slew turned off, so I'm now got to hit go to, and there we go. It's gonna go to the sun. Real simple, real straightforward. You
mean it's going to point at the sun?
No, it's going to actually, when it gets in position, it's going to take off and launch itself to the sun like the Parker Solar Probe.
That's interesting. They got all that fuel in that
Packed in this
thing.
little bitty package.
Doesn't look very aerodynamic. More like it's going backwards.
It's going that way. Did you not see Sputnik? Sputnik is a ball with those things, antennas sticking out of the back. The legs become the communications antenna. And just like that, we are now pointed at the sun, and we are tracking the sun in point mode, which means it's moving to both an RA and declination, right ascension. They're round and around.
Song about the sun now.
Okay, there's got plenty of songs. All I have to do is I want to go to tracking mode where it's just turning an RA to negate the rotation of the Earth. I just tap the triangle P and make it a square TR, and now only the right ascension is turning. If we have a really good polar alignment, everything is great. So wanted to show how this worked yesterday. Didn't have the counterweights, and everything let go, which is what it's supposed to do, because that keeps things from getting damaged. So if this runs into something, I'll go show you what this looks like. I'm going to park the telescope, menu, settings, park, and it's going to go back to where it came from. I am going to grab on to the telescope. Actually, I think I'll do the counterweight bar over here. See if I can make this do this. Nope. The clutch. Hear that?
Nope. The noise suppression on our microphone system is killing that.
Noise suppression makes sort of a sound to it. You couldn't hear it. So now it's lost its motor counts, and so it's going to go back in RA to where it wants to. The deck returns to zero. All that is the micro stepper motors letting the magnets letting go so that it doesn't drive into anything and damage anything. You can't hurt your telescope. You can't hurt whatever it runs into. You're not going to chew your gears up like you would with the old servo motors that just apply power, and they just turn with the full torque they have. And if it ran into something, it would start chewing up the gears, and it all bad stuff happened. You don't have this with our PMC8 system, which currently has two mounts: the iExos 100 that you see in front of me or to the left of me, and the Exos 2 GT with PMC8. We'll probably talk about that mount on Friday and have a 127 millimeter telescope on top of it. So we also have the Explore Scientific straight through finder scope. It's over in your carousel, as well as all the other products we're talking about today. Really simple to put on. All of our telescopes now come with the hybrid 2-in-1 finder foot, which allows you to use a finder scope that you have. Previously, you had to have an Explore Scientific / Meade T-foot, which is like an upside down T. Instead of being like this, it's like that to slide into it. Now you can use that, or you can use the other popular foot, the Cinta Celestron Orion Mini Vixen foot comes, so you don't have to buy a new finder scope. You just slide on either one you have, and you're good to go. So, talk about eyepieces a little bit. Got eyepieces in front of me. Two of our most popular eyepiece, the Giant Pineapple 82°30. We have a bigger than this, but this is a spectacular eyepiece. And the 82°14, along with the 8211, are our most popular eyepieces. We sell hundreds and hundreds of these each year. It is amazing how popular these eyepieces are. The 8230 returned to stock a couple weeks ago, and we are selling through quickly. If you want one, the popularity is going to exceed the supply we've received. We've got more coming, but the ones we've got are going to sell out. So if you want one, get over there and get it. Same issue with the 14 as well. So $149. Let's talk about solar photography or solar astronomy real quick. We sell sun catchers. Now the sun catcher is a cardboard piece.
Right now, Kent, you
Yep.
can't hear it. The music I'm playing, she just repeats, I spent all my time chasing the sun.
That sounds like a great song. Lots of people, eclipse chasers do that. They spend their time chasing the sun. So we sell sun catchers, which are solar safe film. You should only buy solar safe products from reputable sources. Don't buy from fly-by-night people. Buy from people that have been around a long time and names you know. During the Great American Eclipse of 2017, there was literally millions of fraudulent, not safe solar glasses sold. If you buy from a reputable source like Explore Scientific, whether eclipse glasses or solar safe film, you're good to go. So this is solar safe film inside of a cardboard housing, and this is a very large one, but I could put it on here with no trouble because these come with these cut triangular hard dark gray foam that you simply cut to fit your telescope, and 3 of these have been cut, and these have been cut much larger for a different telescope. The stickum's gone on the inside because these get pulled off, but we could put this in here just like this and use this as a solar safe filter on this telescope. The problem is it doesn't fit well, and when it doesn't fit well and a gust of wind comes by and blows off, if your eyeball is looking through there or your camera's in there, you're going to fry stuff really, really bad. Fried eyeballs are not good.
You can buy a new camera, but you can't buy a new eyeball.
Very good, Paul. I like that. We should probably use that more often. Yeah. You can buy a new telescope. You can buy a new camera.
Tom Cruise in the future.
You can't buy a new eyeball. I like that.
So John Wadsworth says, let's go.
Hey, John. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you giving us a shout out, and we're rolling right along.
Richard Grace says, oh, yeah.
So, Richard, thanks for joining in. We're
Astro Beard, of course.
Yes.
Mr. Yokin says, wow. Hi,
wow. Kent. It's the ED80, the white ED80, is a spectacular telescope. If you were watching yesterday, Annie had not seen one. We haven't had any new ED80 since Annie started working here. And it showed up, and she walked in, and she just said, oh, wow, that's beautiful. And
Drek says, good evening.
From Germany. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Huh?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Paul Lech.
It's actually evening in Germany right now.
Paul Lech says, hello, Explore Scientific. Used a Barlow lens. Cold 5 times magnification is a cool product. Is the best. I use Skywatcher Dobson 10-inch. This most amazing Barlow lens.
You know, Barlows are great for increasing the magnification of your telescope. So magnification is the length of your focal length of your telescope divided by the size of the eyepiece. That's focal length right there. Real simple.
Mike Overracker says
Hey,
good
Mike.
solar filters are a must-have for a telescope.
If you want to gain a massive amount more use for your telescope, a solar filter opens the doors to using it all day long. I'm promoting solar astronomy right now because we have come out of solar minimum. The sun goes through an 11-year cycle of a lot of sunspots, no sunspots. A lot of sunspots, no sunspots. And the amount of sunspots varies from year to year, and the length of solar minimum and solar maximum differs every 11-year cycle. So this is lining up to be a fairly active solar maximum. There's currently a couple of very nice groups of sunspots on the sun. One that people have been watching for the last week is rotating off the sun, because the surface of the sun rotates just like the surface of Earth does, just much slower. So it's now rotating off the limb, but there's some more rotating on and some popping up in the middle. That's what's cool about solar viewing, is you can sit there and watch the surface of the sun change right before your eyes, live. You can look in a telescope and watch with a solar safe white light filter, which is what we're selling. Watch a sunspot, something starts happening, you see something changing, and then a little black dot appears and it grows bigger, and then more happen. Those sunspots grow, you can see them moving across the surface of the sun. One of the few places in the heavens that you can see things move. The other places you can see things move is obviously the moon moves in front of your eyes.
Norm Hughes gives you a high five.
Hey, right back to you, Norm. And go ahead.
Let's see, Russell Parr, any upcoming deals on any 40mm eyepieces?
We're talking about a couple of potential sales in the near future, but haven't nailed anything down yet. I can't say whether there's going to be any eyepieces on sale anytime soon or not, as in what we had back in February. We had some tremendous pricing on eyepieces, and I don't think you're going to see that kind of pricing again anytime soon. So it's 11:55. We got to get over 1:55. We got to get over for our 2 o'clock Central Time Amazon live broadcast. Thanks for being with me on the warm up for that. Get over to Amazon Live, and you can see me go on and on and on about all sorts of stuff. I love to talk about astronomy. For Explore Scientific, the disembodied voice of Paul Newton, and right over there, who keeps Amazon up and running, Noah Menard, the Amazon guy. He gave me everybody a wave. I'm Kent March of Explore Scientific. Thank you for sharing time with us. We'll see you around the corner. Bye-bye.